So today I want to dive into something that is on every newcomer's mind: how to find your first job in Canada. As we all know, settling in a new country can be challenging, and finding employment is often at the top of the list, especially if you've not come here with a job. So, in this video, I'm going to be sharing some tips and strategies that have proven to be successful for newcomers in Canada who are looking for their first job. But before I begin this topic, I want to provide some context. When I returned to Canada after a decade of living overseas, I was finding the similar challenges that you were finding. Okay, now I was displaced from Canada for a while, but I had a network, I had a support structure, I had a family here, I was educated here, and it was still challenging. So, don't think for a minute that I don't know how challenging it can be for someone who doesn't have all those advantages. But I also know that there are more people that can do well here if they do the right things, and this leads me to my next point. There are many people who will tell you that you can do this or you can do that. Take it all with a grain of salt, as everybody's entry into Canada and the job market is different. True, there's similarities for people and things that you can learn, but there's also lots of people who have not fully used their skills or been able to excel as they have not listened to others and they don't impart the teachings that they've received, and they believe these limiting beliefs in their heads. Don't fall into this trap, as you can surely do it, and I've seen firsthand over the span of a decade of helping people not only get here, but also get settled in. They've exceeded all expectation and done amazingly well. It really is going to vary depending on your skills and your experience, and probably a little bit of luck. The type of job that you're looking at, what's in demand, and most importantly, your mindset. And we can't forget other things such as your job readiness or your language skills. So, I'm going to talk general in nature and give you some ideas about how you can effectively find employment as a new immigrant in Canada. Firstly, networking is crucial in finding your first job. Attend networking events or go out and meet people to let them know that you're there. Instead of just applying for jobs online, consider going to a company itself or speaking to people or checking them out on LinkedIn. You got to find the people who are doing the hiring. Now, you're most likely going to be directed to an online application anyways, but some managers can flag applicants that they want to consider. And again, some of the strategies to get past the gatekeeper, so to speak, even if it's a digital one, can be challenging, but it can also make all the difference in the world, all right? So building your network can be done even if you're arriving in Canada, right? Early, or even before you come here. Reaching out to the regulatory bodies, the associations. I love reaching out to the associations. Any mentorship programs can be a good place to start. This is a great way to build a network. And this can all be done through email, sending people your resume, sending them a personal message on LinkedIn, right? This is the stuff you got to do. Now, for mentorship programs, there's several organizations out there that provide settlement services funded or in conjunction with the government. And to be very transparent, not all these services are something that I'd recommend or suggest that you waste your time on, as some of them are not very effective, all right? I say this with experience, and I know that there'll be some people that will disagree with me. You gotta scrutinize the service and the provider, as well as looking what it can do for you, okay? And just because it's free doesn't mean it's free. It's gonna cost you time, and it could also waste an opportunity for you. Now, with that said, there's also some really good ones out there that run mentorship programs, and they have links with different businesses. So what I'm saying is this: I want you to investigate further and not just go into any newcomer service and just think that this is the one for you. You're gonna have to do your research, because not all of them are the same and not all of them are gonna be great for you. Secondly, consider taking a course or getting the necessary credentials to make yourself more marketable. This can depend on your age or education level. However, more education is always a good thing, and it can allow people to get credentials they need. While at the same time, these courses may have internship opportunities that can lead to full-time work. Also, if you're a newcomer to Canada, you'll be surprised at the level of funding and support that you may get to upgrade your skills. So if there's something that you wanted to do, certainly look into it. If you're in a profession that requires licensing, this can also allow you to meet other like-minded individuals who can introduce you to potential jobs while expanding your professional and social network. This also might be a good time to dive into another profession as well, as I previously just mentioned. If you're new to Canada, you might want to look at another vocation altogether while exploring different types of services that retrain and support your efforts to equip yourself with a new skill set. Thirdly, you can improve your language skills and sign up for language classes. Now, this is only directed if your English or French is not your strong suit, but good communication skills are essential in the workplace, and language proficiency can greatly affect your ability to get a job in Canada. If English or French is not your first language, consider taking a language class to improve your language skills. Many communities have language centers that offer free, low-cost classes to newcomers. While education can have a positive impact on your job search, you can also try volunteering. Volunteering is a great way to gain Canadian experience, build your network, and also get some great references while developing some new skills and also getting some good karma points, right? Many organizations in Canada rely on volunteers to help them achieve their goals, and this can be a good way to get your foot in the door. You can also consider doing an internship or a co-op program to gain valuable experience. But be wary of the places that have a revolving door of interns, which seems to be their source of maybe, free labor. The last tip is to be strategic with your job search. This can be done in a number of ways, and let's dive into this a little further. Okay? You need to create a Canadian-style resume and cover letter. As many newcomers may format their resume and cover letter differently, this can help you stand out from other applicants and increase your chances. While at the same time, as I noted, putting information on your resume that's not acceptable, given the HR requirements of Canada, might be having you overlooked. All right? So it's important to do some research on the industry field and what they want from you in a resume and what's normal, right? And what they're doing for their application procedures. This will help you understand the requirements, the qualifications, the salary, expectations, job outlook, prospects, and you can also use this as a research to identify the companies or organizations that are hiring and learn more about them. So, I want to dive into what I mean about being strategic. There are many examples of strategic moves you can make, but one of the strategies that I've seen people successfully employ is taking a step backwards to take 5 forwards. So what do I mean by this? Well, this means that you need to get your foot in the door and you need to get some work experience and you need to get some references and you need to get right? So you might be searching for that perfect job, but it's better to get into a position and leapfrog and jump ahead as opposed to only planning to come in at this level when you can start here and then jump a few rungs up. Just because you've worked in a top role where you came from doesn't mean that you're always going to transition literally into that role. If you do, that's fantastic, but you need to keep yourself in momentum and you need to keep moving past the getting started. Otherwise, long breaks in employment can also bring a host of other issues that you don't want to deal with. Remember, you're in a new country, things take time, and you're going to need to be flexible and open to adjustment. Now, while I understand this may be a little disheartening, I don't think it should be. Right? It's incumbent upon you to get the experience and move through your own experience. And once you get known in an organization, you can show your other skills. You can show that you can work well. And this is what people look for, and they want to advance people quickly if you show that you have the skills. Remember, every situation is unique, and there's no one definitive way to find your first job. These tips and strategies will at least give you a starting point to get things moving. So, let's sum this up. Finding your first job in Canada can be a challenge, but many have done it before, and remember, it's all about your mindset. Finding your first job in Canada can take some time and effort, but it's important to stay persistent and positive. Do not get discouraged. If you don't get hired right away, come on. Treat that as something that it wasn't right for you, and just keep plodding away and keep going and going and going. Keep applying to jobs, networking, building your skills. Get your experience up. Just gotta stay in momentum. Remember that your first job in Canada may not be your dream job, but it's a stepping stone to a successful career. So let's leave it there. I would love to hear your comments, and I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for some more helpful tips and strategies for newcomers to Canada. See you in the next video, guys.